What's up, my friends? It's Rob Bill. Welcome to this practice. Breathwork ain't got nothing on what you're about to learn. We all experience stress, but it's not the stress that causes problems in our lives. It's the physical, mental, and emotional drain of that stress and the resulting depletion that we experience in our lives. The Journal of the American Medical Association has said that stress is a major contributor to heart attacks, depression, cancer, and is even as bad for you as smoking and high blood pressure. When we are under stress, when we're drained and depleted, it's impossible for us to show up for ourselves, much less anyone else. We end up exhausted and zombified and fall into our old self-soothing, feel-good programs and patterns of behavior. I call this the zombie autopilot. The World Health Organization has stated that 61% of deaths and 49% of the global disease burden comes from poor lifestyle choices surrounding movement and diet. And those choices arise out of this zombification, driving us to make choices that make us feel good in the short term, but really just deepen our drain, our stress, and our depletion in the long term. But what is stress? What we're really referring to is the experience of stress, the emotional charge, the anxiety, irritation, frustration that accompany that pressure in our life. That and the accompanying reactiveness that comes along with it. Now, we know that the breath is a powerful tool for managing stress. Why? A simple 10-second breath that I teach in the heart-focused breath practice pulls us into coherence. And physiological coherence, what spiritual teachers refer to as being centered, is a state of synchronization in body systems like your brain, your heart, your digestion. It's an optimal state of functioning in body and mind. And we can see incoherence in people's heart scans. Every emotion has a signature heart wave. It's like your heart, your brain, your body is drunk. Things don't work well. They're not intelligible. And breathwork brings us into coherence. A 10-second breath, all of a sudden you're more responsible, adaptable. But there's something even more powerful than breathwork, and that's positive emotions. Positive emotions create brainwave states like alpha, delta, and theta, brainwave states that pull us out of stress. Neurotransmitters like serotonin for satisfaction, dopamine for drive and reward, endorphins that kill pain and intensify pleasure, oxytocin which drives connection and resilience to stress, and even anandamide, which is code for the bliss molecule. And you can do all of that without even having to do breathwork. And I teach breathwork inside of Men's Yoga Transformation. It's one of our foundational practices, but the thing is, you don't even need it. What's interesting is that far more powerful than the breath is a different technique, something far more powerful for generating and sustaining a coherent heart, which creates a coherent brain. All of a sudden you can think and body without using breathwork. With that kind of power, you can show up more centered, more balanced, more adaptable, responsible, and resilient to stress, meaning your capacity to overcome challenges in life grows. You can even boost your resilience capacity, which means you can handle bigger and bigger and bigger challenges in life without being derailed, all without having to do breathwork. And I'm a number one proponent of breathwork, just by using your mind. And I'm going to show you how. By generating positive emotional states, we can experience coherence in the heart, that biggest biological oscillator, meaning it's something that generates an electrical and magnetic field in the body, which pulls the brain into coherence. All of a sudden the brain's communicating well within itself, but also with the heart and the digestive system, all of these systems beginning to work together in synchronization. And also with positive emotions, we elicit that hormonal cascade, serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, oxytocin, and anandamide. And all that you're going to do is focus on one thing, anything that puts a smile on your face, anything that brings you a small sense of love, appreciation, joy, or care. And let's do this practice right now. Enough talking about it. Begin by taking a nice comfortable position, one in which you are least likely to be interrupted by yourself or anyone else. And I invite you to close your eyes and begin with taking a nice big in-breath all the way up and just letting it go. Doing it again, breathing in. Breathing out in any way that helps you release stress. One more time. Beginning to breathe just a little bit longer and a little bit deeper than usual. Without any force or tension. Really drawing out your exhales. Imagining you could relax through your forehead and your jaw, your ears, even your mouth. Softening into your neck and shoulders. Feeling your breath flowing deeply through your throat. So deep, it's almost like it's flowing through your heart. This is our heart-focused breath. Our foundational practice for creating that state of coherence. Maintaining that centeredness amidst the sounds, the songs of life, whatever's happening around you. And now bringing in an object of happiness. Anything that puts a smile on your face, whether it's real or imaginary. A happy memory or a vision of the future. Any person, place, or thing that brings you a sense of appreciation, care, or love. You can decide to continue the long and deep breath as you bring in this positive emotion, or you can let the breath go. Noticing how the feelings around your heart and even in other body areas change when you bring in this object of happiness. Imagining that with every breath, you can begin to spread this positive emotion, this feeling into every cell in your body. Radiating outward from your heart, down your arms into your fingertips. Coming back to your object of happiness anytime you find yourself in distraction. Spreading this feeling down through your belly and abdomen into your hips. Down your legs all the way to your feet. Upwards to your neck and throat all the way into your head, filling up your whole head. Just infusing your whole self with this positive emotion, this object of happiness. Anytime your mind wanders, just watching it. How interesting. And when it's done, coming back to that one thing that fills you with that sense of appreciation, care, or love. When you're ready, letting go of this technique altogether and just resting in the after effect. When you notice in your body, how is it different than when you began this video? Your mind, the thoughts and stories, even your emotions, the feelings in the body that compel you to say or do or act. Even spiritually, your sense of connection within and to yourself and other. And when you're ready, just gently opening your eyes, sending your gaze into the space around you, taking in everything in your field of vision all at once. Up and down, left and right, near and far. Before bringing yourself back to this singular point of focus, closing our object of happiness practice, also known as the quick coherence technique. With something as simple as focusing on positive emotions, for me it's hugging my son, you can experience benefits as powerful as and even more impactful than breathwork. Stopping the drain and depletion of stress, the emotional reactivity that comes along with it, and that zombie autopilot that leads you down the same old programs and patterns of behavior that have created who you are that are no longer serving you. Just by focusing on that object of happiness, you draw your heart into centeredness, coherence. And by doing that, your brain, your entire being, into a state of synchronization and optimal function in body, mind, and spirit. You create a feel-good hormonal cascade of serotonin, of dopamine, of endorphins, of oxytocin, and anandamide, so that you can show up fully realized as your best self, just by focusing on something that makes you feel good. And that's it. We start this practice in my own signature program in week 2 of MYT. We spend 10 whole weeks, 11 really, ingraining this. And the more that you practice it, the more that it becomes your default state. In that program, I teach the intelligent energy management system, which, to keep it simple, is just shift, sustain, and reset. A miniature practice, up to 2 minutes, is a nice temporary shift within your physiology. Show up with centeredness and feel good emotions. If you practice for 3 to 20 minutes, you start to change your inner thermostat. You begin to show up like that all the time. And if you do that twice a day, you double the benefit of it. And finally, when you find yourself feeling incoherent, emotionally reactive, use this in that moment or shortly afterwards so you can reset yourself and stop the drain so you don't show up a zombie and end up a statistic for the WHO or Journal of the American Medical Association. That's it, my friends. Thanks for being here. Drop in the comments. Let me know how this worked out for you and if you have any questions. I appreciate you, and have a wonderful day. Bye.